Hello and welcome back to the Beyond the Football Zone and to a weekend reviewing the FA Cup final and the Premier League action, and starting things off with Chelsea against Manchester City. And yeah, it was a brilliant goal by Antoine Semenyo that separated the two sides. It was quite an evenly contested game, but City got that goal and it was the one that mattered. A domestic double for them, winning both cups. They'll be absolutely delighted with that. For Chelsea, it can bounce a disappointing season, but for Man City, a huge result and potentially the perfect goodbye for Pep Guardiola if they can't win the league. Moving on into the Premier League action and starting things off with Aston Villa 4, Liverpool 2 at Villa Park. And yeah, very disappointing into the season for Arne Slot's men. Rodgers gave Villa lead before Van Dijk made it 1-1. Watkins then scored 2 to make it 3-1, really playing himself into the World Cup squad. And John McGinn 4-1 before Van Dijk got a consolation goal. And yeah, to be honest, I think Villa were just clinical here, got the job done, securing Champions League final football, and of course all eyes are on that final this coming weekend. But for Liverpool, Slot, I don't know, the pressure grows, doesn't it? Moving on into Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2 at Old Trafford. Shaw made it 1-0 in the 5th minute before Morata made it 1-1 on 53. Cunha and Mbeumo made it 3-1. Obviously a controversial goal, and for me it probably should have stood, and that Gibbs White pulled one back later on. But yeah, Manchester United, I think, were probably dominant, deserving of the win, but there will be questions over that goal. But I don't know, it's no good result for them. Forest already safe, and Michael Carrick looks like he's going to get the job, and deservedly so. Moving on into Wolves 1, Fulham 1. Mane gave Wolves the lead early on before a penalty from Robinson made it 1-1. And yeah, after that it's quite an even game, to be fair. Not a huge amount separating the two sides. And yeah, I think in the end a draw probably the fair result. For Fulham though, I think they would have expected to go to Wolves, obviously a team that has been down for a long time now, and get a win, which really would have helped them on their way to a European spot. But unfortunately it just seems unlikely now, doesn't it? And yeah, that will probably be disappointing for them. Moving on then to Leeds, and they picked up a great 1-0 win over Brighton, but more disappointment for Brighton in their quest for European football. It was a late goal from Cowart at their end, and to be honest, it was a game that Brighton absolutely dominated, and they'll be absolutely baffled how they didn't get anything from it, let alone 3 points. So yeah, hugely disappointing for them, and leaves them with an uphill task. But for Leeds, their great end of the season form continues as they continue to push on towards what's looking like a very promising next season for them. As we moved on to Everton 1, Sunderland 3 at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, it was Roll who gave Everton the lead in the 43rd minute before Robbie Lafay and Isidore with 3 second half goals, seeing them win for Sunderland, giving them a chance of European football. And to be honest, it wasn't match separated two sides in the first half, but yeah, Sunderland really turned it on. Got a win, and yeah, they've given themselves a shot at a European place, which would be an incredible achievement for them, given how they started the season as relegation favourites. So fair play to them. But Everton disappointing. Brentford 2, Palace 2 was the score at the G-Tech, and it was Sarr who gave Palace the lead before Otara made it 1-1. Walton made it 2-1 before Otara again equalised, giving Brentford a sniff. I'd say a draw was a fair result of European football. So yeah, they've still got a bit of work to do, but it's harmed their chances, hasn't it? So yeah, they'll be disappointed with that. But for Palace, I don't know, it's a decent result, but like I say, all eyes for them really are on that big final coming up, isn't it? Moving on into West Ham as they took on Newcastle, and yeah, it was a very disappointing start, wasn't it? 2-0 down within 20 minutes, 3-0 down after 65 minutes for Asuda, and Castellanos making it 3-1, and it's leaving West Ham with a very uphill battle, isn't it? They just didn't turn up, lost the game in the first 20 minutes, and yeah, now they're in deep trouble, and it's looking like, yeah, they're going to be having to play in Championship football next season, so very disappointing. But for Newcastle, I don't know, it's a good end to a poor season really, isn't it? Moving on into Arsenal 1, Burnley though, and it got nervy, but it was an early Kai Havertz goal that gave Arsenal the win. Obviously when it was 1-0, it was kind of always just one chance for Burnley is all it took. But in the end, Arsenal, I think they controlled it pretty well, got over the line, and that's all that matters for them. And yeah, one more game against the Crystal Palace side, who probably will be focusing on that final in the Conference League. It feels like this is the year for Arsenal, doesn't it? And what a huge result. And on Tuesday, Arsenal's Premier League title victory was confirmed, with Man City dropping points at Bournemouth. It was Krupi with the goal for Bournemouth in the 39th minute, and Haaland struck late on for the equaliser, but it wasn't enough. Man City pushed in the second half, but in the end, Bournemouth kind of felt like they had it in control, so we disappointed to concede that late goal, making their job of securing Europa or Champions League football a bit harder. But for Man City, huge disappointment, not to take it to the last day, but for Arsenal, fair play, incredible for them to win it. Moving on then to the other game, Chelsea 2, Tottenham 1. Tottenham taking the relegation battle to the last day. A great goal by Enzo Fernandez, and Santos made it 2-0. Richarlison made it 2-1. Spurs had a chance late on, but yeah, in the end it didn't work out. To be honest, Tottenham actually dominated a lot of the game. Chelsea weren't great, but in the end Chelsea got the win, gives them a chance of Europe, which is what they were hoping for. But for Tottenham, I don't know, the pressure's going to be right on, isn't it, for their huge game at the weekend to try and stay up. What a crazy sentence. And finally, on Wednesday in the Europa League final is Freiburg against Aston Villa. Huge game for Aston Villa. Of course, qualification for the Champions League already secured, but this is about silverware. And against the Freiburg side, who, have been a bit up and down so far this season, but you say Villa, on paper, do look the better team. I think they will be favourites heading into this game. I think Aston Villa will consider themselves the favourite, and I think they probably will come away with the victory. I'm going to say it will be 2-1 to Villa. A big result to cap off a brilliant season.
Guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily football news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.